Michigan backcountry couple and co-hosts, Canadian native Colleen Kuehl and American husband Johnny Kuehl. Let's say Johnny B. Kuehl, since I know that now. Make no claim to being professional outdoor adventurers. However, both in their 50s have an amazing enthusiasm for paddling, backpacking, camping, and overlanding. They also find a great deal of pleasure simply sitting around a campfire, sharing a beverage with old friends and new friends alike. Their show, Backcountry Couples, aired on YouTube. And with that, welcome to the show, kids.
Oh, hey there.
Welcome to the show, kids. I love it. That doesn't get old.
Oh, my gosh.
I love it. I absolutely love that.
Happy Thursday,
oh
y'all.
Happy pre-Friday.
Happy football Thursday.
Oh, yeah. He's all about this, which is awesome.
My other favorite team, the Steelers, are playing tonight.
There you go. There we go. Are we square? What's happening here?
Oh, what's going on here?
I don't know. Are we square? Can you see us all?
Yeah, we are. It's just this little thingy right here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We got a little thingy going on here.
We're
Can we fix it or no?
We're fine.
Okay.
I can see us.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't see the comments.
Here, let me turn the comments
fix
on.
That.
Is that better?
Uh-huh.
I'm Johnny.
I'm happy. I'm Colleen.
Yeah,
I'm happy too.
You're happy.
Welcome to Backcountry Couples, Season 3, Episode 2.
Halfway to 4.
And it is our first Backcountry Bros of the year. So, yeah, of the season.
The season.
Of the season, yes. Oh, I'm too cool to be square. Thanks, super good. Love it.
L7 weenie.
But honestly, why do we look like we're shifted?
I don't know.
We're
not going into technical things here.
Okay, which is fine. It's all good.
We just look fine.
Awesome.
We're fine as wine.
Right. Yes, we are. And we've got James in the house, Raven. We'll say hi to everybody in a minute. So we want to say thank you to CW Getz. And he made our awesome intro voiceover for us. He is out of Chicago and does a weekly show called The Camping Show, where he interviews lots of cool, awesome people every week, Wednesdays at 6. Yeah, Wednesdays. Outdoor people.
Wednesdays.
Yeah, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Awesome. Excited.
5 o'clock Central.
It is? Oh, yeah, because that would be the time. Oh, I forgot about that. I know, right? Anyways, we also want to have a special thank you to...
Who? Me? Sure.
Mickwick.
Oh, that guy.
Mickwick. We're going to talk about the Mickwick. Because, again...
I got my new toucan.
If you were in the U.S., it's a beanie, apparently. When people call it a beanie, I'm like,
cap.
What? Come on, man. Anywho.
Winter cap?
It's not. It's not a beanie.
Right.
It's a toque.
T-O-Q-U-E. She's converting.
Anyways, thank you to Mickwick, who has been sponsoring our show for the 3rd season in a row, which you are fabulous, and we thank you for that.
Yes, he's the bomb.com out there.
Absolutely. And we have a plethora of things that they do and they share out, which is amazing.
So if you're not new to the chat, you already know. So you can just say, okay, that's cool. But if you're new to the chat and you're watching this, so Mickwick fire starters are an all natural product, burn up to 20 minutes, and they are super awesome. They'll catch wet wood on fire.
They do. They do.
You got to keep the process.
It's a process, honey. Exactly.
Right.
So
and
yeah.
Also, all of our guests that are on the show get a
like a little party pack. That's what I call it.
It's a
swag.
It's swag, but I'm trying to think of
it's a parting gift.
It is a Backcountry Couple exclusive only package deal that you cannot get online. You have to be a part of the channel to get one.
There you go.
So if you are interested in Mickwick, go to
so it's not just
mickwickfires.com.
And it's not just fire starter.
No.
Okay. And it's not just the beanies and the cap, which clearly we're like representing really hard today, which is awesome. I love it.
They make apple wood smoked coffee beans. It's like
So good.
It's like taking a sip of coffee by the campfire.
Right on.
But in the comfort of your own home.
Right, absolutely. So
when it's snowing outside and
Right.
on Halloween, you could be drinking
I know.
cup of
a
Mick
little
Wick coffee.
something, maybe. That'd be nice.
So if you want some swag, you want some coffee,
Right.
you want some fire starters,
Yes.
any way, shapes, or
Right.
form, other than the special package for our couples
Yes.
or bros. In this case, bros.
They are. We got the bros tonight.
The
I'm
bros
loving
tonight. Make sure you use the code KeelQuest.
Yes.
And you will always get 15% off your entire order.
Yeah. And just
Don't
for the
forget.
record, I'm like safety first today. It's hunting season. That's why I went the orange. It's bow season at the moment. That is true. That is true. For people who aren't familiar with Mick, can we show them a little video?
I think we can.
Yeah, let's do that.
We will get.
And then the other thing about
here.
Mick too is I hate to say it, but I think there's like 7 weeks till Christmas or something crazy. So if you're I know I hate to say that out loud.
So,
I know.
okay,
I know.
there's
I know.
gonna
I
be
know.
a beat
But
down
just
in this
saying,
house.
it's on the desktop, honey.
Son of a bug gun.
Right. We didn't get the setup in time.
What are you talking about? Hey,
there we go.
There's nothing scripted around here. We wing things around here.
That's a true story.
All right.
Which we love.
On with the show.
All right. No.
It's loading. Give it a second.
Kaboom.
Boom.
Come on. And we always feel to say this made in the USA, and we're very proud that it's
All
made
the way,
in the USA. And actually, a
USA.
lot of the people
Get
in the chat, USA, yeah. Oh, the USA. Oh,
my
you're
gosh.
funny, honey. I should grab that shirt. It's all good. Anywho, so thank you to Mick.
She's not.
I got it.
at all.
Maybe get a cocktail. I don't know what's going on here. If you love what you see, we would love if you want to hang out with us on a regular basis, which is kind of fun, right? Which is all good. And if you're tuning in for the first time, we are doing backcountry couples, but we are doing them bi-weekly now. So next week is a bi-week, kind of like we're playing in a sports world. It's because we're heading up north, which is really awesome. We're heading up north.
We're gonna go
with some friends.
We're gonna do a little Friendsgiving.
We are. So we're going to do some dispersed camping on a river up north of here.
The Manistee River.
I don't know, about 2 hours north of us, I guess. Nothing too
Well,
crazy.
depending on which way we drive, but yeah, 2 hours.
But yeah, it's gonna be great. So we are excited for that, which means we will be back on November the 16th for the next show. But let's before we get our guests into here, let's say hi to the chat, honey.
Who's in the chat?
Let's go all the way to the beginning.
Well, I know that some guy named Carlson's in here.
Is he? Yeah, he is. Hi, Brian.
Carlson's
We
here.
got Doc's in the house.
What's up, Doc?
Hello. Hashtag.
Hashtags
Super
here.
good.
Super good.
All right. I love it. I love
Let's
it.
see who else is here.
Dustin. Hi,
DeWin,
friends.
Camper 69.
Hi, Gary.
Hello,
That's
Gary.
nice. James is here. Raven. I mean, he's
Mr.
probably
SB
at work.
Raven Flintlock.
I know, right? Which is really great.
Who else
I
is?
saw-
Oh, hello, Up Trail.
Oh, hey, Bob. How are you, my friend?
you guys
Nice
doing
to
up
see
there?
you. Yeah.
Nice to take a break from your
Right?
hiking up there. You guys, they've been killing it up
They've
there.
been, I know. We got to talk about Grand Isle because that's on my list. Just
Right.
saying. We got
Oh,
Mustang,
Mustang
77.
774.
That's been a minute since we've seen you.
Hey, buddy. Hey, hike with Mike.
Hike with Mike. Hi. We got, I love it.
Oh, hey,
We got-
Live today.
And we got Liv today. We got
Craig-
Karina
Where?
right here. Corinda. Sorry, I would say Karina.
Oh,
Corinda.
Corinda.
And we got
yeah, Little Pony 67.
Yeah,
What's up?
we
Craig
got
G.
Craig. You from the UPA. Ha. Very funny.
You betcha there, bud.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, Craig. Rochester. You were our dude that just chat. I hope you got your TC teardrop. I know you're going to pick that up soon. So that's sweet. Love it. Anywho,
They're nice teardrops.
yeah, they are. You're gonna love that
For
for
a teardrop.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I like my square.
Michael Peterson.
Hello, Michael.
Hi,
I like my square
Michael.
drop. Just saying. No
So
offense.
nice to
Love
see
them. They're
everybody.
great guy, great company. Anyways,
Love it.
all right, on with the show.
I know.
Now.
Oh, hiking guy. What is up, everybody? Let's go.
He's just a hiking guy.
Don't say it. He was gonna say something.
Nope.
You started it, Chris. I'm just saying. Anyways,
Mr.
are you
Kentucky
ready?
Fried Chicken.
Are you guys ready? We are excited to chat with our first Backcountry Bros of season 3. And yeah, here we go. I'm gonna start. Hang on. Carlton just said that's the stay-at-home guy, not the hiking guy. Oh wow, you know.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right, nice to see everybody.
He's got a girlfriend now,
Thanks.
so he's
Would
got
you
to stay at. He's got to stay at home
Stop
now.
spreading rumors out of school.
What are you talking about?
I feel like you were spreading rumors out of
She
school.
was posted all over Facebook.
Really? I have to get my pen. Hang on. Okay.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'll read it.
You're not reading that.
Because it's Canadian. It's
Yes.
written in Kanakistani.
That's right. Exactly. Got too many A's in there. Are you ready? We have Canada in the house tonight. These two backcountry bros grew up just outside of Toronto, and between the two of them have visited over 50 countries. One is a yoga practicing, hockey playing, adventure wellness guide. The other is a rock climbing, dog sledding, no worries, no rush adventure guy.
Ha!
But
Gee.
together they crafted a family-owned business of backcountry tripping based in Algonquin Park, Ontario, Canada. They live for exploring, learning, and sharing their findings with good people. And I'm a quote person, and they have two really cool quotes. One is, "It's okay to take a break." The other is, "We are already friends." So welcome from Driftwood Paddle, the real-time explorers, Chris and Kieran Kelly.
Hey, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Oh, good. We're super stoked to have both of you on the show today, man. Thanks so much for coming on.
Seriously.
Thanks for the intro.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, it's the truth, right?
Right.
So,
Needed a curtain to come through.
what was that?
He said he wants to have a curtain to
Oh,
come
next
through.
time, no problem. I feel like was definitely deserving. Oh,
Yeah.
so I put before we go.
It's kind of like Johnny Carson.
I know, super good just said the super sleuth is in action. If anybody knows me, I'm a bit of a sleuth. I'm a bit of a fact finder. So you guys better prepare yourself because
she's a
I've
PI
already
for
got
sure.
like your grade 2 teacher's name. Like I got it all. Oh, Kira's like, bring it on.
We're ready.
Kidding. So you guys get to take a break today because we're friends, right? I love it. I think it's like awesome. It's so good. We always love to share how we got to know our guests and stuff like that. And
Right. Well, the first question is out the door because it's not, the first one is, well, how'd y'all meet?
Yeah, no, I said that.
That's
when
an
we sent
easy
the
one.
thing. But I mean, we started following you guys because you were on Instagram and all that kind of stuff and watching your content. And Tim and Pamela from Super Good Camping, right? They said you need to chat with Chris and Kieran. Because they're like the perfect, they are backcountry bros. Like, hello, come on, right?
Literally.
And so on a note on that, Tim said that your interview with Tim, I think, is going to be posted on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure everybody in the chat goes to check out Super Good and Driftwood Paddle collaboration podcast on Monday. So that's really exciting, right?
Well, now what's the question?
So the question is,
that was a long derived thing to ask one question.
Was it? The question is no. But I mean, you guys grew up just outside of Toronto, right? And like not any, but a lot of people in Ontario have, the up north cottage, right? Usually it's Muskoka.
Oh,
People
yeah.
always say, right?
Cottage country.
And you guys, your family had a property up in the northwest side of Algonquin. So at what point did you guys realize that you were both outdoorsy, that you love that?
Kieran, you want to go first, brother?
Yeah, sure. I think we grew up in a small town about an hour outside of Toronto. So we had a farm in our backyard. We were in a small subdivision, but we were able to hit golf balls right out the backyard into a farmer's field. There was creeks and ponds and all that stuff. So we were those kids that our parents would say, call when you get there, when they sent us out the door. And we often didn't quite get to our friend's place because we'd meet somewhere in between and be looking for crayfish or something else in the pond. So when we ended up starting to go up north, our parents bought the cabin there. It was sort of a natural progression of stuff. And then just the same sort of thing. We often didn't wash our hands until dinner time because there was no point they were going to get dirty again in seconds.
Well, that is a true story, right?
There they are.
How old were you guys there?
Probably 7, 8.
That was last year.
That was not last year.
I started eating vegetables.
Yeah. No, geez, that's probably like 9 and 7 or 10 and 8, somewhere around there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's
All
close.
right. Yeah, for sure. And Chris, what about you? When was your first like aha moment kind of thing when you were, when you realized you just like were the outdoorsy guy?
I mean, in grade 8, when I had friends up for my grade 8 birthday up to the lake and realizing that I felt comfortable, in the forest, and they're, more nervous being in the tent trailer, asking like, are you scared? And just because of where we grew up in this small town outside of Barrie, most of our friends are from Barrie, a bit bigger of a city, so to speak. And then, we'd go up to the lake every summer for multiple weeks. And so it was slowly that we were acquiring these skills that we didn't even realize that set us apart from our friends back home. Just being comfortable exploring without adult supervision, canoeing, walking in through the forest, coming across animals and having these experiences. And so I think it was like grade 8, and then also coming back and starting to guide and really noticing how many skills that we acquired and how valuable they are to share with other people.
The best. So true. It's so true.
So basically, you do it over and over and over again. It's just like you don't even think about it. You just do it. It's like second nature.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was sort of a funny progression for us because we didn't really know how much of a treasure we had right in our backyard until we started hitting the road traveling, and we went to, like you said in the intro, like collectively we've been out to over 50 countries, a bunch of them together, a bunch of them by ourselves, a bunch of us with other friends or friends we made along the way, and you're constantly visiting these wild places. And one of the hard parts about after traveling for over 2 years is, what are you going to do when you come back? Like, you've done everything you can to avoid the main hustle and bustle, but everyone always tells you got to get a job at some point. So lots of brainstorming. How am I going to avoid that stereotypical job and that Monday to Friday life? And then coming back and coming to the cottage to have a think about it and realizing, oh, damn, it's all right here. We don't got to go anywhere else.
Right? That is the aha moment for sure. Before we talk about Driftwood Paddle, though, why is Algonquin Park so powerful? It's unique. And why are so many people drawn to Algonquin Park?
I'd like to take this one.
So polite.
How much time do we have? I think
much time as you need.
Well, I mean, we're going to spend a lifetime exploring it, but so far, just recognizing the biodiversity of it. It's such a jewel, like placed in a fairly populated area, so to speak, in terms of like the creep of Toronto. You got Muskoka, you got Ottawa, but this sanctuary for wildlife sits in there. I know that it's like massive aquifers are there that are supplying a lot of the rivers. So you have all these amazing rivers and streams and freshwater lakes. I think the coolest part is that it's like old mountains, like it's the shield. And so we're living in a time right now where we're able to like paddle through glacial lakes that are no longer glacial and like paddle down rivers and islands, all this thing that it's so accessible, but it has enough flora to support an amazing diverse fauna, and it's just gorgeous. Like the fact that where it ends is basically where the boreal rainforest ends, and so you have like so many cool different tree species, so many different animal species. And then there's just like the fact that it has some magical force to it that every time you go in, you come back better, is pretty cool too.
Definitely transformed for sure.
Well, heck yeah, at any given time, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, you could paddle the same route 100 times. You know what? You're going to see something different.
Yeah, we talked about exactly.
You know, it's the timing of a moose coming by, you know, an otter going by, or beaver slapping in the middle of the night. It's like, get out of my area,
love
you know?
is that everybody in that area doesn't even call it Algonquin Park. It's just the park.
Yeah.
The park, right? I was like, seriously, because I remember when John first went there, he was like, it's the park. I was like, Algonquin Park. But you guys decided to start an awesome, amazing, tripping, outdoor outfitting company, Driftwood Paddle.
That's a mouthful.
Isn't it? I mean, there's so many adjectives you could use. It's just so exciting. So what was the vision?
What was the
What was the vision like for Driftwood Paddle? Was it just like, hey, we're in our backyard, we're just gonna like, you know, trip and hang out, and we're gonna get some people up here and expose them to it? And
well, for myself, yeah, I had that aha moment of, all right, this is what I want to do. It started with, of course, when you're fresh off the backpacking trail, I want to bring backpackers out. But you realize quickly that these trips cost a bit of money to run, and backpackers are typically not the ones with that kind of money. So we ended up starting to bring families in there, families we knew. And then for myself, we wanted to start our own business. And so we knew other businesses around here that we'd known since we were kids. So I went and knocked on the door of the one guy, and I said, what do we need to do to start a business? And he said, you need experience. So that was the start of the two of us working for them for 4 years. We also worked for a number of other companies while we were doing it. And then it was naturally the time to move on and start our own gig, which was the dream from the get-go.
That's amazing. How was that changed? Sorry, just one more thing, honey.
Can I ask?
You want to ask a question first?
Just one.
You go ask one question.
Thanks. So, what exactly were you learning to be able to develop your business?
Yeah, great question. So the company that we worked for gave us a lot of freedom. So we went out for staff training. We learned how the stoves worked. We learned some campfire meals, and some basics on canoeing. But that's a lot of those hard skills we already came into it with, just with our upbringing. And so for myself, it was always the meals that made me the most nervous. So it was cool to learn a couple of those backcountry meals and realize that you can put together really healthy, really spectacular meals with not a whole lot of difficulty. And then, through those years, we were taking everything out from families, groups of strangers, youth at risk, high school kids who wanted to be there, high school kids who didn't want to be there. And so each different one brings a different challenge. So then when we were moving on to starting our own business, a lot of people were saying, what are you going to specialize in? And what we had learned is that the outdoors is for everyone. So we're not going to shut anyone out. We're going to be available to everyone. And then for us as guides, nothing ever gets boring because you're going from one group to the next, which is totally, it can always be different.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Awesome.
You know, when you guys started in 2018, right? So whatever, 5 years. And I don't want to say it, but I have to talk about the pandemic just quickly, only because I feel like that encouraged people. It also discouraged people, right, from getting outside, you know? So we know that it affected everybody over here in Michigan. We were like going down, there was no place to stay because everything was booked and it was just nuts. And we couldn't find a sleeping bag or a tent, and which was awesome because everybody was, wanted to get outside. What did you learn from that?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll weave this one into what's changed because I think they're both a good segue.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like that's when we realize that what we do is that much more important, that people need nature, people need connection more than ever. And so the fact that you could still social distance in a canoe trip in terms of like closed trips with families. We really saw the need and the impact that it was having on families, on groups that were coming through. And so to speak into, and then also we didn't outfit at all at that point, but people kept calling because we were new and we were not very easily found, but people were like, hey, I already booked a site like in May. I didn't book a canoe. And so we're like, all right, we'll start renting our canoes. And that really was cool because we got to meet all sorts of people and build our community. Really, like people came through and then they wanted to book a trip, or their friends wanted to book a trip, or people would just hang out. We were so stoked for just to chat, point them in the right direction, be those locals that Kieran was talking about that helped us out on the road in so many countries. You got to check out this, hear about it when they come back, have a chat. That we call our place the long goodbye because people end up hanging out a little longer. And then what's changed is like at the beginning for me, and I think I can speak for Kieran, is like, yeah, we still wanted that adventure of travel and didn't want to hang up our Peter Pan shoes.
Right.
And this was a great opportunity to do so. We got to still adventure, and then we got to adventure with people. And something that's really important for me is like spending multiple days with people. It's hard these days to even spend 24 hours with like your best friend. And so to have like 3 days with a group of people, with a family, you really start as strangers, build a rapport, build trust, and end up as family. You end with hugs, exchanging emails, and there's a connection there that I feel like in today's world is so important to build that connection with people, especially in the city. You might not know the person that's on the other side of the wall from you. You might divert your eyes because you're too busy or because it's not socially acceptable or whatever to even make eye contact. And I think that's dysregulating in society. And so to like be connected with people in the bush without technology, it's special. And so to continue on with how it's grown is like we still get to adventure, we still get to go on everyone's family vacation, but we get to like facilitate this connection, like bringing families on an adventure into the unknown, creating team, bringing other hobby groups and strangers together for them to reevaluate where they're at, gain clarity, and take a rest, and then be like, surprise themselves and be like, I can do more. I'm capable of a lot more than I thought, and I'm gonna take whatever I cultivate in the backcountry and bring it into my life.
Absolutely.
Cool. With that being said, then, with all these different diverse groups that you take into the backcountry, both of you, what is the biggest thing that you get at the end of the trip from them?
I call those unintended outcomes.
Yeah,
you know?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
For me, it's perspective, because everyone has a different perspective. And Kieran always says, like, getting to see nature through a different lens is like such a beautiful experience. Seeing it through a 1-year-old's eyes, how they like are in awe and wonder of the shimmer of the water, or when like the breeze kind of catches their face, is one experience. And then you got the lawyer from downtown Toronto and being like just wide-eyed and being like, I don't even know where to start, you know, like they're like, I'm going to make changes to my life. Like, and so just gaining that perspective from people is for me is like, that's what I always take from all these different groups.
Awesome.
That's cool. Yeah. It gives you the, as I would quote from another YouTuber, he said, it gives you the fizz. It's like, this is awesome to see their reactions when you show them this. I've never heard
you say the word fizz before.
I save it for rare occasions.
I like it. Oh my God, too funny. But I love that you guys, like you were saying earlier about the diverse trips that you do with the different groups and whatever, and the different there's wellness trips there, which are different than a woman's group that's different from a men's group to the grade 8 kids or a family trip or whatever. But you guys started doing a trip that I'm kind of excited about. You guys have started doing fly-ins.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so you guys are going to Mahogany, right?
That's right.
That's sweet.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like it. I'll tell you, the first fly-in trip we did, it was lifelong dream for myself to strap a canoe to a float plane and get dropped off in the middle of nowhere, and it exceeded expectations. We had an absolute blast. And one of the things I didn't expect is after 7 days in the bush, and now you're even further from civilization than when you started, hanging out on the rock, drying our clothes, enjoying our last morning, and hearing an airplane and thinking, that's our ride.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is
I
sweet.
knew the drop off would be cool, but the pickup, I felt like James Bond, I won't lie.
Yeah. That is pretty sweet for sure. Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Yeah, but it's a great service to be able to just get that little bit further out there from the beginning to
Agreed.
to see less people to you just feel it right away. Like, and it's 2 people per plane in one canoe, so you almost feel like you're like a party of troops. All right, we're sending 2 in, and then next thing the plane comes back and brings the next 2, and before the plane even lands, you see the first 2 have already got to a campsite and one tent's been set up, and so you hit the water, get pushed off by the pilot, and start heading towards camp, and you get camp even more set up, and then the next plane's landing. All right, here we go.
That is so cool.
Yeah, one of our friends, Gary, here, he said he's got a thing here. He says he'd love to take a trip to Hoodlum. What?
Hoodlum? I don't know where Hoodlum Falls are in Algonquin. Oh, we'll have to look it up.
Yeah,
I have all the maps.
That's
all the maps, which is crazy. I don't know.
Not a small park.
Right. That's the whole thing for sure. And then Mustangs, like a fly-in trip would be awesome. Absolutely. Yeah. So we went to Isle Royal, right, which is a national park in the middle of Lake Superior. And we flew in and we were chatting with the airplane people, and they were saying, and they were saying that in Michigan, it's illegal to strap your canoes to float planes here.
In the U.S.
No, in Michigan.
Is it Michigan?
Yeah, because you can do it in Minnesota. You can do it. Yeah. So you can't do that. So if you want to take your
boat
over to, I know, if you want to take your boat over to the island, because there's a lot of like canoeing over there too, you got to take like one of the ships over. Isn't that crazy? Yeah,
that's wild.
But I would love to do that. I also want to do a little train car, like take the railway like deep into the northern Ontario or something. Wouldn't that be so cool too?
They take it up to Caribou, don't they?
No, I think just straight northern Ontario.
Oh,
yeah, the Mississauga River is a popular one for that. Where you paddle, and you actually go under a few train bridges, and it's one of the few places in the world, if your route is not quite going all the way to Moosonee, you can
to Moosonee, yeah. Right.
You can wave down the train, and they'll pull over and pick you up.
Come on, tell me that would not be so cool. Oh, yeah, I love it.
Well, you better wait, because it takes the train about 2 miles to stop.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. That's true, right?
Yeah, it's not like they stop on a dime. No.
How big, or what's your biggest guided trip you guys have done? And then what's the smallest that you have done?
Like amount of people?
Yeah, like people.
You take the biggest, I'll take the smallest.
Biggest, we just finished a school group of 21 students and 3 teachers. We have done that school with 28 students. We separate that into 3 groups, and so we have 3 different guides and the teachers. We've also done a big group like that. It was a military team, and they did a team building with us, which was pretty cool. So we got to go. Really cool. It was my brother and I guiding that, and we got to go fast paced. We got to cover a little bit more kilometers than we typically would.
Oh, but the game was on, right? It was like,
yeah. Everyone was in pretty good shape and all that. And and it was cool watching them even improve as it went. We put a couple of long portages as obstacles for them to really challenge them. And,
what was the longest one?
We did 2 different 2Ks, 2 kilometer ones.
All right.
Okay.
And an 800 meter that is arguably more difficult than the 2 kilometer ones. So
single carry?
No, not on these ones. We like to eat good, so we don't mind walking a portage without a canoe on our head. Enjoy the view.
Absolutely.
Take our time and make sure our bellies are happy.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Do you guys have a guide to like paddler ratio? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
is it like you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you have like 10 8th graders. I mean, I want more than 2 people looking after 10 8th. I don't know. Is there like a ratio that works or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we do a 2-to-7 ratio.
2-to-7. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
And previously, like the insurance is 1-to-8, but we're looking to. I mean, it's more fun for the guide. It's more hands-on for the client. Obviously, the safety factor is also a big thing, but it's fun having 2 guides. You're working as a team. One can be like prepping something, and the other one can be, helping someone string a line or start a fire. And it's a lot of fun. So that's where we're more leading towards.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
And then do you guys have to book sites?
Yeah. So how it works in Algonquin is you book a lake. So some lakes will have 30 sites on it. Right. You book the lake ahead of time, and it's sort of first come first serve. So that's the nice part.
I know that, but I mean, but you're not sitting on the computer January 15th, whenever go time is for Ontario Parks, and you're not booking everything or are you? I don't know. Maybe they want to say that. I don't know.
Well, this is one of the things that's beneficial to hire a local guide is we know
there you go.
We get the good sites, and even if it's a busier weekend when most of the sites are taken, we know where the good ones are that people don't know.
Love it. Okay, all right, touche. Because it's so true.
I'd love to share one thing if you don't mind.
Do it.
Yeah, in terms of the smallest trips, like we've run up multiple one-offs because some people just want to go out on their own, and especially early days. One person would reach out and we'd say, yeah, we'll try and fill the trip, and if no one else came, we'd still be like, let's just do this anyways. And so one beautiful story is this one lady contacted us. It was her 30th birthday. She was a Rwandan refugee, and I didn't know this at the time, but she just wanted to do a backcountry trip for her 30th birthday. She came out. She was very rusty in a canoe, shaky getting in. We did a 48-hour trip, 2 nights. After the first night, she was, really starting to embrace the nature and like feeling a lot more comfortable. Day 2, we did a nice long paddle in base camp. She started sterning the boat. I was teaching her how to stern, and then got her portaging. At that point, our boats were quite heavy. We didn't have our Swift Keewaydins at that point, so we're running like 65-pound Prospector Scots, and so she started portaging that. Then she sterned the rest of the way. Next day, sterned into the wind and portage all the way back. The next year, she comes back, takes a 65-pounder, goes in for a weekend on her own. She's been one of our biggest supporters. Like, she sent people our way, and it's just like that is like the epitome of, well, first off, one-on-ones are beautiful because it's so one-on-one, and it's just getting to know someone is awesome in that situation. But like that totally made me rethink of like what I'm capable of, because she came in with no experience, and by the end of it, she's doing things that like, some people are like, oh, I don't stern, and they've been paddling for years, but they've just like wrote themselves off in that way. Or and so the way that she showed up was like, that's like why we do what we do. And then fast forward is like, now I'm seeing the importance of one-on-one trips. And so we offer the Reset, which is a one-on-one for people that need to get away. They want to reset. They want to charge up, like, especially people that are like busy in corporate settings, family life. They can come up for 24 hours you can go up from there, but usually dealing with people with time scarcity, and just come out. And so we've run a few of these now, and people are really gaining a lot of perspective. And like a 24-hour reset, it's 24 hours, but it feels like a lot longer. And they're returning home like shifted, and it's awesome. It
is all about the people. Like, bottom line, it's about the people, right? And we said earlier, you're teaching people, they're learning how to explore, they're learning the new skills, right? Yeah. And you just said there's a lot of firsts, right? Like, she had all those firsts, but how many people have so many firsts? They've never been backcountry camping, or have camped but never paddled before, or maybe
or seen a moose,
or any of that kind of stuff. So what does a new paddler bring to a group? Like, let's say, we're with a group and I've paddled and John hasn't paddled before, right? Like, what does that person bring?
They bring that fresh perspective. I often say that canoe trips make kids of adults and adults of kids. And so,
I like that.
You guys have so many good quotes. I love it.
And so, yeah, it is. It's really cool. So someone with no experience, you get also different types of people. So some people like to keep busy, but they don't have the skill set to do things. So they'll collect firewood, or they just want to be useful. Is such an awesome thing. But sometimes the task in place is to do nothing. So I have a line a lot of the time. I'll say, Colleen, if you're over my shoulder, it's midday and there's not much going on. Hey, what can I do? Can I do something to help? I'll say, yeah, go find Colleen. And they'll sort of look at me, like, but my name's Colleen. Yeah, I know what I said. Go find her. So,
I love it.
Well, hang out by yourself. And
I'll remember that for later.
Hey, that doesn't sound very fizz.
Exactly. Or another cool one, I had a 7-year-old lady out there the one time, and we went out to look at the stars. And I've had people say when they look up, I've never seen stars like this before, but this lady grew up her whole life in Toronto. And when she looked up and then looked at me, said, "Whoa, I don't think I've ever looked up before."
How crazy is that?
That's how far out of her comfort zone she was. And
wow.
So it's cool. It's always that fresh perspective. And then another cool thing that we've been doing a lot lately is so our motto is to make campers of people. We want people to be comfortable in the outdoors, to realize it's not so difficult. Yeah. But we've been starting to bring people who used to camp quite often and have either lost the skills, or they don't have the gear anymore, or they don't have quite the interest to plan everything, but they want to introduce it to their kids, to their grandkids, whatever it might be. So then you get these old veterans telling stories around the campfire, and you'll have that hand in hand with someone who's never been on a canoe trip before, and just the group dynamics. It's all the laughs around the fires. So much personality.
And everyone's learning from everybody, right?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What about portaging? So portaging, you tell someone you're going to put a canoe on your head, right? And you're going to walk from this lake to the next lake, right? Could be 200 meters, could be 2 kilometers, like we said, right?
Yeah.
But that end result is you were at this amazing spot, right? And then you say, well, hey, you know what? Not only are you you're portaging this boat, it's also sunshade, really. It can be an umbrella, right? I mean, if the weather is inclement,
or a bug collector.
Or a bug collector, if it's bug season. You know what I mean? So how do you say to someone like when we go canoeing, I don't portage. I mean, give me the heaviest pack. I'm your pack mule. He's the canoe guy for sure. Like this person in this picture right here, did she want to portage?
I think that was a trip I was on. She was I think 70. I always love to encourage people to portage. So that's like a Swift Osprey, probably weighs 25 pounds. And so we guide with super light boats. It's a little bit more nerve-wracking, of course, but we instill trust in our clients, because we know how damn empowering it is to portage a boat. And
look at that smile.
Yeah, look at that smile. She's flowing. And so just having experiences with 8-year-olds to 70-plus-year-olds getting to experience that, and obviously there's different people in between that they might just not feel that they were ever able to, and to have that experience, to carry something so big over the top, we just frame it like this is a cool opportunity. So with this lady in particular, I just said, hey, would you like to portage? And obviously, not obviously, but a lot of times they're like, oh, I couldn't do that or whatever. I'm like, no, I'll set you up. I'll be right with you. If you don't want to do it, or if it's too much, there's safety outs and I'll be there. And you just frame it. It's like, you're basically the guide. And so that's the cool part about it. You paint the picture like, hey, I really think you're capable of this.
Sure.
One of the special parts of being a guide is what people are almost capable of more than they are, because we have experience with people in the backcountry, and we've overcome our limiting beliefs in so many ways in the backcountry anyways. And so, yeah, just saying you got this, and setting them up and being there, and you can read their faces, etc. Oftentimes most of the time they can take it. It's more so just the uncomfortableness of it on their shoulders. And so setting them up with a light backpack or a jacket or something like that.
So cool.
Yeah, it's such the epitome of Algonquin paddling, is to portage a boat, and that's the big thing. Here's another Driftwood quote is we want to send people, we'll take care of you, but our priority is to send you home proud over pampered.
I feel a publication coming out.
I'm thinking this too.
The Driftwood Paddle quote publication.
I know there's going to be a quote book coming out here.
That's
wow.
Cool. I like it.
So portaging's the first. Not everybody has ever eaten campfire food before, right?
Are we going to eat bugs?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Is this what, they don't know what to expect. But I mean, there's a lot of eating. There's a lot of snacking that goes with a long day, right? Of when you're portaging and traveling and paddling and everything. And there's a lot of meal prep. And what are some favorite meals or tips kind of thing that you have for people?
Do you want me to take this one, Kieran? He's frozen a bit. So I'm the food guy. I create the menu, and Kieran's such a beauty. He goes along with it and just fully trusts me. I think a lot of my meals are born of being in the backcountry, having whatever's left in the barrel, especially in terms of personal trips, and then even on backcountry trips, because everyone eats differently, and you might have an extra thing. And so, yeah, we have some unique recipes. We have one called monkey soup, which is one of our oatmeals. And so that's oatmeal mixed with bananas, steel cut oats mixed with bananas, peanut butter, maple syrup, almond milk, toasted hemp hearts, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and some peanut butter. That's a big one. And then we have the paddler's pasta, which is just a big hearty pasta, but we add in so a bunch of vegetables in it, but then we add spinach at the end underneath the noodles, and then so you get your greens, and then a bit of goat's cheese on top. That gets it a bit of a rosé sauce. And then we have the newest ones are sausages that we do, and we have our driftwood wraps, which have mango in it. It's always going. The sausage is we fry up onion, peppers in a pan, and then we also fry up apples, cinnamon, and maple syrup in a pan, and put that with the sausages, and you lightly toast some naan. You slice some nice smoked sausages on.
Looks good.
Yeah,
I love it. And
Lots
you just
of
said
maple syrup.
Lots of maple syrup. I know, because we bleed maple syrup. Come on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what about if I came to you and I said, listen, I want to book a week out kind of thing, or a week with you guys. It's my husband's birthday while we're out in the trip. Do you guys bake like a special cookie, or do you bake a cake, or like what would you do? How could we celebrate it with like the
smuggling some candles?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, have you had that happen?
Definitely. Yeah. We actually celebrated a 1-year-old's birthday this year.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah. In the park on a 4-day.
Okay.
I mean, it changes every time. Like, again, I don't like, we have a set menu, so to speak, that we choose from, but yeah, we might bake some muffins, or like we do a French toast. So we celebrated it with like a big pile of French toast and blueberries and maple syrup. Yeah, we always make it special and like, create a little special moment. So for the 1-year-old, it's like he had 2 younger brothers. We all like grabbed a piece. I gave everyone a piece of cedar bough, and everyone took a second to say what they love about their brother, and like the 1-year-old, what inspires, throw it in the fire. And so whatever comes up. But yeah, we always tailor make our experiences, and so if that's a desire of the guest, then yeah, we love to celebrate.
That's awesome.
Super. That's super cool.
And you both obviously you like to cook and get involved. What about your paddlers? Do they say, "Hey, can I chop the mushrooms? Can I chop the pepper? Can I let them get involved too?" Or
yeah, we had a 7-day trip this summer, and the guide said he didn't cook one meal when he got back. There was one lady, she's just like, "I love to cook," so
I got this.
He was able to do a whole bunch of other cool things for the group while he would have been cooking. So It depends. But like Chris said there, it's everything's custom. Each group is completely different, but
it's so true.
Sometimes dinner time is sort of like showtime, especially on
like
a short
cooking
trip.
show. Yeah.
We like to tear the fire pit apart and make it a little bit more set up for less of a campfire, more of a cook fire. Big enough so if it's a cooler night, you can still have a big fire going on the side to keep people warm, but also have our nice bed of coals going and have everything going. But almost always people are cutting veggies for you, and everyone's hanging around the kitchen. So it's not much.
It's kind of like when you're at home too. It's like where everybody congregate in the kitchen.
Well, that's true too. That is so true. I know. Yeah. On our first trip together to Algonquin, we befriended a couple of guys that we had met who were from Belgium.
Cool.
They was their first time in the park.
Yep. And Hans and Thomas.
Thomas, yeah. And they got outfitted to go, obviously, because they flew over from Belgium. So they got outfitted to go. We were gone we had 6 days, 5 nights, 6 days in the park. We did the same loop. We weren't obviously staying in the same sites or whatever, but the same loop. So we kind of, touched, or we crossed paths every once in a while with them.
I think we only crossed paths once.
And then we saw them, like we waving across like the lake or whatever. And they came across things in the backcountry that they weren't aware of. And one thing that they kind of came to mind was, you got to poop in the woods. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you send someone a picture of a thunderbox and say, this is what you're going to be pooping in?
Well, we definitely sent the view from the thunderbox. This is what you get to look at while you're pooping.
It's the loo with the view. That's what we always say.
Exactly.
All right. So hold on. My mom is leaving the chat so she can go watch the Golden Bachelor.
Oh, brother.
Seriously? This is way better. It's terrible. Mom. Okay, you're getting a phone call later.
Yeah, right. Okay. So, right.
Anyway,
so you send them a picture and you say, hey, you're going to be having a poop in. This is what you're going to be looking at.
Yeah. Actually pretty funny. We ran a yoga trip recently and doing an info session at the studio. I was kind of nervous, like, hey, how am I going to paint this picture? Because most of these people are from the city. And so what I did, I guided them through a visualization. Like, you walk into the forest, the birds are chirping, the light shining through. You can hear the lapping of the waves on the rocks nearby. The fresh morning dew smell is hydrating, and then you take a nice deep exhale, and that's what it's like to poop in the backcountry.
Perfect.
I love love it. I love it. That's awesome. Oh,
Yeah, you
God.
just normalize things. It's like, you got
Yeah,
this. Like, it's
100%.
not a big deal. If you make a big deal of it, then they're gonna think it's a big deal. It's like,
Right.
it's not. It's just going poop for like 5 minutes, and some people hold it, and that's not great. And so, like, just to normalize it,
Right.
is like to be like, hey, it's fine. You're gonna be great. There's no spiders. There's nothing down there. You're cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Every scenario you can think of, different people who would want to use it, don't want to use it, nervous about it. We've dealt with it, and we have a tool to help make sure that they they're as comfortable as possible.
Oh, God.
Oh, too funny.
People trip for different reasons, right? I mean, for us, we love to, like we were talking earlier, it's all about the nature, and we just, love to get out.
It comes down to just experience.
It's experiencing more, right? Learning
experiencing
more.
Something.
Learning more skills and stuff like that. You also mentioned about being, having solitude or disconnecting.
Taking a break.
Taking a break. Yeah, right. So, but I read somewhere that you ask the people that come on your trips to not wear one thing. Is it a watch?
Oh, watch, yeah.
Yeah, deodorant. Yeah, that too. But I know what you're saying, right? Yeah, but a watch. You say don't bring your watch. You don't need your watch while you're out here.
Yeah, I've often called myself the keeper of time, as a joke. But so the philosophy there is, often when you ask someone if they're hungry, they look at their watch. If you ask someone if they're tired, they look at their watch. You know what I mean?
I should be hungry. I should be tired, right?
Yeah. But we're just trying to create that little bit closer to nature. You're already out here, right? You're looking at the time your whole life. It's not something we make mandatory, but it's something we mention at the beginning. If you want to take this challenge on to not look at the time, that's sweet. If you do, if you're one of those people who likes knowing what time it is, that's fine too. Just don't let the people know who are trying this out. So it is. It's really cool because another one is people will look at their watch before bed. They'll wake up in the morning. Oh, how did I sleep? Especially now with the watches that tell you everything about your sleep.
Sure.
Instead of they'll wake up, stretch. Oh yeah, that was a good sleep. Look at their watch. What? Only 5 hours? I'm exhausted. And so it sort of creates that just listen to what your body's saying,
Right.
And then it's also a lot of fun games.
If they bring this thing with them too, their cell phone.
Yeah, so it has
there's
become more difficult in the last 5-6 years with it.
Right.
And I've even been tricked by student groups that aren't allowed to have their phone. And then next thing I pulled out my phone and clicked the home button because I'm keeping track of the time to make sure we're not making camp too late on those cloudy days. And the girl in the canoe beside me said, "Oh, is that you and your girlfriend there on your home screen?" I said, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, can I see?" And I showed her. Aha! I know the time, and she told me.
Oh,
that's awesome! That is awesome.
Oh, that's too good.
It is
cool.
so fun.
Yeah,
I love it.
Creative.
And then
I like this. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I like to say too on time is like we need time in the working world to be on time because there's so many things we need a schedule to make sure we get there. It's like we don't need that where we're going. There is no schedule. You sleep when you're tired, hungry when you eat. Like there's like hammocks to like take a nap. And then the other big thing is that like if you're constantly like where we're going, there's no time. If you're constantly thinking about time, then like this 48-hour trip, 36-hour trip, 3-day trip is going to be that in your mind where if you forget about time completely, like people at the end of the days are like, wow, that we did so much today. And then like at the end of the trip, they're like, that felt like a week. And so these are just possibilities that we just like to offer the opportunity to chew on, to try on, because I think it's pretty potent and powerful.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, but what about if you're taking, people are saying their phones, a lot of times that's someone's camera these days, obviously, right? So, and behind you, Chris, you've got like, the beautiful photo behind you, right? Right. So, do you just share your photos that you take with everybody? Like, what about this? Who wants to miss this guy?
People that want to take photos, they'll take photos because it's a passion and a hobby, and there's so much to take photos of. But we do tell them like, hey, look, try and be present first off, and second off, like we'll take photos. Like Kieran and I both have good phones, and so we take a lot of photos, and especially for families, it's so massive to get like photos of them present in the moment, like all together. Most people don't have photos of all of them together. And so we do that, and then right at the end we created Google shared, and then we just
good idea. Okay.
photo dump everything. Yeah.
That
but
is awesome.
that last
That's not a bad idea. You can like play it off like the skydivers do. They're not allowed to bring any type of camera equipment on there, and so you have to utilize their camera equipment.
That's actually cool for sure.
It's definitely an added value, and it's something that we don't like charge for. It's just something that we're passionate about, and we love to capture the photos and to send them to them after is super cool. But you have to understand that like being in the backcountry, like that's someone's like hobby is to take photos. And that photo of me with the moose in my background, that was a guy from Michigan, like a father that like that was his hobby. And the 7-day that Kieran just did with a couple, like the guy just took photos the whole trip, and that's why he's there. So
that's why he's there. Yeah,
that's cool.
We want to take away the responsibility if people are like, I need to get photos to capture it. It's like, we got you. But if you're like, I love to take photos, it's like, go for it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I think that's so amazing. How many moose have you seen on one trip?
I think my record's 9.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah. I was actually my girlfriend and I went in for a one-nighter, and we went out for a morning paddle, and we saw 9 moose that morning.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy.
What time of the year was that?
That was June.
Okay.
Okay.
June, just before Canada. Okay. Yeah, just before Canada Day or 4th of July.
Wow.
So yeah, it was next level. At one point, we saw 3 different bull moose, and we're like, all right, which one should we try to get closer to?
Right. Wow. That is incredible.
It was a luxury issue for sure.
And because you touch so many people, right? And everybody communicates so differently.
Mm-hmm.
And when we utilize anybody's services or whatever, I always make a point of letting someone know how I felt, through what happened or like what the exchange was, whether it's good or negative, but there's all, kind of grounds for improvement, right? So you kind of want to do like a debrief kind of thing, or like when you have people like are finished, when you're done,
reflect
when you want to reflect on it, you know what I mean? You guys have had some really amazing reviews. Like I can't even tell you, like just incredible. And one was, it stands out, I'm going to read it because it's so sweet. And you can put that up. So it says, Driftwood Paddle are excellent guides, but even better role models for my boys.
Oh.
And I was just like, are you joking me? Like, that is like, that was not what you were going to get. Hey, thanks for coming. That's awesome. It was a great time. You had a good time. Whatever. Are you kidding? Now you get these 2 young boys who we saw in the picture earlier, the 8 and 10-year-old, you know what I mean? And now look at that. Right. And that was like the best review that I read about you guys. I just was like, that is outstanding.
Pretty awesome.
And then it is awesome. And then when I saw this picture, it brought back memories because we went.
What, the Woodhall?
The Woodhall. Like, I mean, that's an integral part.
I'm like, ooh, we got a good Woodhall. Yeah, I like that.
Oh.
You probably took it off a beaver house.
All right. Well, we had
That's where I get mine from.
No, when we first went, we had 0 wood at I can't think of what the lake was called then, whatever. Anyways, doesn't matter. But we had to paddle across the lake to go get wood somewhere else. And that's what the boat looks like, is full of wood. But it was fun. It was awesome. You know what I mean? So that is incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, so this family here, we took them out as a family, and then the following year, the guy who's in the Woodhull boat, he was in grade 8, so he came out with 5 friends on a grade 8 trip. And that was not last summer, but the summer before. So then this year coming, the kid who's in the middle between his parents there, he'll be coming with his buddies. So
stop it.
That's
tradition.
Cool. That's awesome.
I love that. That is incredible. Yeah. And then
I mean, that's got to be really cool, to have repeat customers, especially the kids as they grow up and stuff like that, and I'm sure they're just chatterboxes and like, hey, what have you been doing? What are you doing this? I was like, oh, where are we gonna go? What are we gonna see? And it's like, I can just
exactly. Especially you'll have one of these kids who's already been on a trip with us and they have their buddies there, so they feel like a bit of a veteran, so
they're like the little tour guide. Oh, hey, if you go over here, look over here, check this out.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome. Did you guys go to summer camp as kids, or was straight up like any organized camp, or no?
Yeah, that's the real thing that we're proud of, and yeah, a lot of thinking about that. We never did, and so that's why we think we're different, or why we are different is that we didn't go through summer camp. We did. That's not how we learned to canoe. We learned canoe like our folks paddling from my aunt and uncle's to our place, and then basically being like, hey, if you want to use the boat to see your aunt and uncle or to go around, and like going into the backcountry, we brought barrels with no harnesses. We didn't even have a yoke in our first canoe. We didn't even know what a yoke was. And so we learned through experience. And so that I feel like that reflects in our trips, because we don't program our trips with like, we're going to do this and this and this. It's very much go with the flow and tailor to what's coming up in the moment. This person wants to learn how to start a fire, right? Let's do fire lighting. But yeah, we didn't go to camp. We have a lot of friends that went to camp, and Kieran's worked at a summer camp. I've done guest speaking at summer camps, and we love them, but we're kind of different for running a backcountry trip without that summer camp background.
Yeah. No, I think it's awesome. And then tell us about rocks, sticks, and leaves.
All right, cool. So yeah, something you were saying is like sort of debriefing at the end. We like to open conversations through the trip. So our debriefs will be something that sticks with you, something that rocked your world, and something you're going to leave behind. So all those things can sound pretty broad, and so depending on who answers first, often steers the conversation whatever way it will be. And sometimes it's nice and lighthearted, and we get some good laughs out of it. And other times people go deep, and you see families share things with each other that maybe they haven't shared before. It's always stories and experiences are coming to mind. So it's hard to stay on track sometimes, but. Yeah, sure. I remember last year we had a family from Switzerland, and the son had done an exchange in Canada, and he turned 18 while he was here and his year away from home. And so that boy had become a man away from home.
Sure.
And he was on a canoe trip with his family, and they were treating him like a boy, and he demanded to be treated like a man. And it was over the 5 days, it was pretty interesting to see the dynamic go. And then we did the rock, stick, and leaf conversation, and some of the things that came out from the father and from the son were just epically powerful.
Very cool.
Wow.
I know.
That's cool.
I just like that too, right?
It is, yeah.
I just feel like it's easy to understand, or resonates, like what rocks your world. Like that's something we talked today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And or where you rocked, or however that is. So yeah, that was awesome. But there's more to you two than just paddling and checking out moves every day and all that fun kind of stuff, right? Because we love to paddle, trek, camp, and overland. Like we're diverse. We love to do it all as long as we're outside. Chris, you're a hockey player.
Both of us played extensive hockey growing up. We loved it. We loved it. It was a good journey, and Kieran still plays pickup. I've been more nomadic lately, so I haven't played in a bunch, but yeah, I mean, when you get a dream day like that on the lake, you jump on it.
Like I can't. I bet there's people who haven't even obviously put skates on, but to put skates on and skate on the lake is crazy.
No, it's not. It's awesome.
It is awesome. I'm just saying, but to be able to do that is wild. Or to have your friends together and play pickup hockey on the lake. Come on.
Yeah, it's cool when it freezes solid
pond hockey, honey.
Yeah.
To skate in one direction, I remember Kieran saying that once. I think skating on the canal in Ottawa, and I don't know if Kieran got out this day, but one day, 1 November, it got really cold, and so the ice was still like dark, and so we like kind of had to test it. But our lake's shallow, so we like stayed close to that area, kinda, and it was just so awesome, like firing these like saucer passes, like 100 meters, ripping across our aunts and uncles' spot back to our property, like our base camp.
That's cool.
I mean, you can't beat it.
That's
oh
so
heck
cool.
no. Yeah, when I got her on the ice for the first time,
Well,
she wasn't skating. We were just walking
together,
and she got to experience a crack. You know, she goes,
nice.
she's like, what the heck was that? Because it sounded like a gunshot off and stuff like that. You just you felt the ice vibrate. I said, well, it's just a crack in the ice. She goes, are we gonna fall in? And we're in probably about 10 feet of water or something like that.
Yeah.
I said no.
Fine.
I said we're
but it
totally
was
fine, but it scared the snot out of her.
Right, 100% for sure. And then Kieran, you're like enamored with the North.
Oh yeah,
right? Like yeah.
Yeah,
And-
everything north. So yeah, I've spent the last 6 winters going up to the Yukon, which if you don't know where that is, it's I call it Canada's Alaska. It borders Alaska, and
I love it.
and so that's where I've been able to do ice fishing and snowmobiling and dog sledding. Dog sledding is just such a passion. If people haven't tried that before, it's make sure you understand it's a team sport. All right, we are part of the team. They do not just carry us everywhere. We are the worst athlete on the team, but we are still one of the athletes on the team. So it's it's pretty cool. When COVID first hit, I was working for this company and there was no more tourists coming, but the dogs wanted to run. So when the world was shutting down, I was able to go dog sledding every day, go out for 25, 30 miles, and just me and the dogs in the mountains. It was spectacular.
It's on our list. We're gonna do it.
We're doing it this winter.
We went to a summer dog sled center, and the girl who owns it.
Okay, whoa. First, you got to tell them how we came across this.
Take those puppies off. So how it happened was
we're driving down this road.
We're up in the UP.
We're up in the UP, and we're going from Grand Marais to we're going from Whitefish Point to Grand Marais, and out of nowhere, I'm just driving, just not even paying attention, and next thing you know, and you see this huge sign, free puppy cuddles ahead, and she's like, slaps, she goes, stop! I was like, I locked the trailer brakes up and the truck brakes up, and we pulled in, and she goes, we got to go check this out. And we go into and we start talking to the people, and goes, were you the people that locked the brakes up?
Yeah, like we rolled in hot.
Oh my gosh.
It was great.
There was like 6 other people in the back.
Yeah.
So go ahead. You can finish
bottom line, it's a summer sled dog facility. The person who owns it has done the Iditarod, the Yukon Quest, like straight up, like amazing. And it's her.
She's got over 78,000 miles or something like that.
She had 14 puppies. Like leg puppies, like snuggle puppies. You know what I mean? Like so stinking cute.
6 weeks.
Then she had her retired dogs. So she had 5 retired dogs. And then she had her 2 sets of sled dogs who are, training, right? And it was incredible.
No, it was just a 14 team.
Was it 14 team?
Yep.
Okay. And then it was just incredible. Just like what the work that goes into it, the like you were saying, how they want to run. That is their job. They want to get out and move. And some people just don't understand that. And then I asked her, I said, what do you do? Like, I mean, when you have good behavior, it's not like, oh, is it like you get like a little treat or you get meat or whatever? She was the one thing special that I do for every dog is that every night I bring a different dog into her bed.
Cool.
So she knows that I'm going to protect you. And then I'm out in the elements. You're going to be there to protect me. Like, it was just like, oh my gosh. Right. Like incredible.
Yeah, pretty cool thing.
Yeah. It was really cool.
So yeah, we're going to hopefully go volunteer at, there's one called the I-200 that goes between Grand Marais and Marquette.
Yeah. So we're going to volunteer for is it a 500? Was it 150 or something like that? Whatever. It's going to be awesome. So I'm excited for that.
Cool. When you get the chance to go dog sledding yourself, let me know what you think of it. I
100%. Oh yeah, we're still gonna do it for sure.
Oh, totally.
Have you guys been and traveled around Michigan?
A little bit.
Go ahead.
we have family in Chicago, so we've ripped down a bit. The summer camp that actually did a talk at was close to South Haven, that the beach on Michigan, but it was like an hour and a half inland. But yeah, we haven't done much camping through Michigan. Have you, Kieran?
No, sadly not. It's often, not yet, let's say.
Okay. Yeah. Put it on the list. There's like lots going around for sure. So what's your big trip for 2024? What's coming up? What do you got happening?
Yeah, you guys got to have your time too, to do stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we're go ahead.
I was just in Malta co-facilitating a yoga retreat, and then stopped into Switzerland to do some hiking, which was sweet. And then Kieran and I, along with a company called Nature's Underrated, two of our good friends, are creating, have created and are facilitating a Yukon trip in January, which is going to be 8-day experience. And there's going to be, sorry, I'm flustered. Kieran's basically planned the whole thing from his experience, knows all the locals on the ground. It's going to be yoga. It's going to be cold immersion. So there's like a glacial river running through, saunas, dog sledding. Yeah, it's going to be like a wellness adventure. I'm calling it an adventure wellness retreat. And, working with First Nations, fiddle night, hot springs, snowshoeing. I'm pumped.
Man, that sounds awesome.
It does sound awesome.
Jumping in the sauna and then taking an ice plunge.
Woof!
Yeah, pretty cool.
Or make it snow angel or something.
We got lots of different programming going, and then we're going to be doing another fly-in trip. So I saw one of the comments, one of your fans said that they went to Cabin Falls, which is exactly where we do our fly-in fishing. Is it?
Nice.
So did you go say hi to Hap Wilson and Andrea?
Last time I was there, Hap Wilson is like a dream person to meet for me. So we on one of the portages earlier, we met some people staying at the cabin, and I'm like, is Hap there? Yeah, absolutely. So then when we got to Cabin Falls, me and the other guide and the daughter of the family that we were traveling with, we hung around the cabin long enough. I said we just loitered long enough that they invited us in. And so we got to go in and met Andrea. She brought out the guest book, and that thing came out, and I got to ask a bunch of questions.
Oh, yeah.
They're really
they're
cool.
so nice. We love them.
They're trying to get us out there.
I know. We were going to go.
Oh, what a spot, and so deserved. Like, couldn't be two people more deserving of such an award.
I agree.
You met them?
Yes.
Yeah. So we were speakers at the Quiet Adventure Symposium here in Lansing. We talked about being a backcountry couple and how important it is. You create memories together, all this fun kind of stuff. Right.
Yep.
And then Hap was selling his books there, but we were all staying in the same hotel. So I'm going to the same restaurant and coming back and with Cliff Jacobson in the room and Kevin Callan and Hap and Andrea, the McGuffins from up from the north of the Sioux, all these paddling legends. It was just crazy.
Yeah, we were just sitting there.
It was incredible.
We were just sitting around shooting the shit. And it was really cool.
It was just and it's just amazing how much you have in common with everybody, right?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was super, super sweet. We were looking forward. Yeah, right. Yeah, we're looking forward to paddling up near you guys. Definitely next summer.
Well,
100%. Oh, we will. So how can everybody find you?
Well, hold on.
What happened? What happened?
We have one question.
Oh, right. Yeah, we saved that. Right. You were talking about the Yukon and everything.
So Doc Watson wants to know, what's people's reactions when they see the Northern Lights?
Yeah, so this summer was the summer for Northern Lights. Yeah, we've seen more Northern Lights this year than ever before. So it's often people aren't sure what they're looking at because in the Yukon I've done a lot of Northern Lights tourism where you're going out and the goal is to see the lights. So that's so very different from being on a camping trip and just seeing it organically. It's often it's just a white tinge on the horizon to start. So then you get the cameras out and you do the long exposure, and when it turns out green on the camera, you know that you're looking at the northern lights, and then that just brings everyone down to the water, and you're just staring north for as long as you're staying awake and watching it move.
Right.
Yeah, I know. It's incredible. Absolutely. So people can find you on the website, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool. You're on Facebook, Instagram.
You bet.
All the socials. What are you doing with your YouTube channel? Are you gonna like upload like trip videos, or?
We used it to put our promo video on that a good friend of ours made for us.
Yes, it's great.
And so it's a platform that we're not really utilizing, to be honest with you, at the moment. It's there, but the main thing is like following our Instagram, where we run it, and so Kieran and I just had a conversation yesterday. It's like let's put some more stuff. Like we have so much backlog of great trips to get it up there. Yeah, and then just taking little reels every day. Kieran living up there. I'm visiting often, so before I get my house going up there, so just like adding those things. Honestly, like the cool thing about us is like just give us a call. You get to talk to the owners. The number on Google or on the website's my number. Leave a message if we don't answer, and one of us will call you back, and we're happy to chat about making your dreams come true. If you have questions about just exploring our area of the park, like we're always happy to just chat. And so like Kieran said, we tailor make every trip. So if you have a dream about getting the family together, getting a certain group together, we can make it happen, and we're so
love it.
To make it happen.
I love it. And then you guys, are you going to be featured, or were you featured with the Algonquin Highlines? Because you did something with Karina.
Yeah. We did that just recently. So she just put something out. Actually, you can see it on her Instagram. It's like a 22-minute film, and we're featured from 9:30 to 15:30. And
okay, perfect.
It's on her YouTube channel as well. Have you had the opportunity to meet her?
We haven't met Karina yet. No.
What are you talking about? Alexis Outdoors?
Yeah.
No, we haven't.
No.
Her and Brandon are like the coolest couple. They're so fun, and
right?
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, they are. Everybody in the outdoor world is so cool.
Exactly,
like it's just like-minded people, and you have a beer together. Like, come on, right?
I don't know, that hiking guy. He's kind of strange.
We had a guest say at the end of the tour once, I find people who are good in nature are often good-natured.
Done.
Well, another quote.
Done.
It's like boom. Drop the mic.
I love it.
He was a 78-year-old man that like was so apprehensive. Like he wanted the book, and eventually like he'd ask so many questions. At one point, I just hit like video call, like FaceTime right now. He answered it. Kieran and I are on the phone. We're like, Carl, bring your dogs, bring your daughter. Like he's 78. Like bring whoever you want. We'll make this trip happen. You obviously want this to happen. And we ended up doing like 3 guides to 3 people. The 2 dogs were a little bit over the top, but like he wanted them with him. And that's what he said at the end of it. He was pretty like humbled, very like tech-minded dude. He said what Kieran said, like people that spend, I'm realizing like a very active mind. I'm realizing that people that spend time in nature are good natured. And it was just like, it was awesome. I was like, wow, you're awesome.
And we love your logo too. You have a really sweet logo.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
As well.
And then
speaking of logo, how'd y'all come up with it?
Yeah.
We were up in the Yukon. I was visiting Kieran, and we were trying to decide on a name. And Driftwood Paddle was like the top runner. And we were out in Dawson City for the solstice. You get to climb to the top of a hill, and like it's like where you can see the sun not touch, and it's a bit of a party. and I saw this tree, and it looked like it had like this paddle shape to it. So I came back, and Kieran's landlord, who's insanely talented, like artist and graphic designer, Emma Road Photography. You can find her through our Instagram. We give her a shout out early on. Definitely worth the value in her art and her graphic design. Yeah, I just basically told her like tree paddle, and she's like, oh, okay. Didn't really say much. And then all of a sudden she's like, a couple days later, she's like, I think I came up with your guys' logo. And so she did this one, and then the back part as well. And we're so stoked on it.
It's sweet. I love it.
It's
love
cool.
it. Love it. Love it. I love it. And I mean, and ours is a KK, right?
Yeah, yours is awesome.
But I don't want. It's Kieran Kelly too. It's a KK. I'm like, wait a minute.
We'll have to get some of those stickers off you when we see you. That's awesome.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Who came up with yours?
She came up with the logo. I had the name.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah, viewers. I know you probably have a lot of viewers who are experienced campers. So if you know anyone out there who wants to experience the backcountry, learn to camp, relearn to camp, or if you're tired of doing all the planning and want to just come, and we have everything set up, we got the meals set up and all that, you just come with your personal gear, ready to canoe, ready to smile. We're here for you. We're going to make your dreams come true.
That's the outro right there.
Perfect. Love it.
And if you're in the area, pop by.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that too. I feel like you just come on up, right? Like, come on.
Absolutely. No problem.
Oh my God. You guys are awesome. Beautiful.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for hanging out. You guys have been incredible.
Yeah, we really appreciate
fun
y'all
interaction
coming
with
on.
the chat and stuff like that. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, we're gonna drop you down in the basement. We just got to do a quick little outro. And
all right.
But again, thanks so much for coming on the show tonight. We really appreciate it.
You guys rocked.
Likewise.
Take care, guys.
You guys are a blast. Take care.
All right,
guys. Everyone in the comments, I couldn't figure out how to type into the chat, but really love following along and love you all.
Oh, that's fun.
Great.
Very fun. I love it.
All right. Hang tight, guys.
All right. So awesome. Come on, right? Whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. And we've already got a whole bunch of great show tonight. Thanks. So awesome. Great show. Great episode, kids. I learned a thing or two. Great show as usual. See?
Who's learning stuff?
Who's learning stuff?
Oh, hashtag.
Hashtag is, which is awesome.
Oh, Jacqueline's here. Hello.
Hi, Jackie. Thanks for popping in, honey.
She needs to go on. She needs to
Doc
go up.
Watson, very interesting tonight because he's typically not a canoeer. So I feel like that's fabulous. So it was awesome to, one, share the love of the park, Algonquin. If just like Kieran left it, if you want to get out, explore Ontario. It's honestly not far. So from Michigan, it's 6 hours. 6-3. No, hang on.
8.
Oh yeah, it's 8. That's right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
From GR, door to door is 8 hours.
That's right.
It's 4 hours to
London, then 4 hours north. That's right. I wasn't thinking about that. So not very far. Put it on your list. Clearly, they're adaptable. They got things going on, which is awesome. I'm super good. Oh,
go to
absolute rock party. Whoop, whoop.
Absolutely.
Right
on. Definitely go to their website. And it shows all the different kind of trips that they all do.
Right.
So, and get some really good detail.
Yeah.
I highly recommend.
Agreed. And not just that, check out their swag, which is awesome. And I'm sure coming.
It's a kick-ass logo.
It is a great logo. And then
it's
coming 2024
mine, but it's still cool.
Is the book of quotes. So look for that. And we look forward to seeing you guys in 2 weeks. Okay.
2 weeks.
We want to thank Mickwick again.
We're going to be out and about next week.
We are.
Out and about.
Yeah. So
not in a boat.
Right. So thanks to Mickwick, right? Chris and Kieran are going to get a little party pack, which is going to be kind of fun. I'm sure they're going to be taking those on their trips, which is awesome.
Right.
And thanks for everybody for hanging out with us again on a Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Can't wait. We can't do it without y'all.
All right. Nice to see everybody. Everybody have a good couple of weeks. Cheers.
Until
what are you gonna say?
It's like she's like cut. It's like, really?
What?
That's it? You gonna no more
Yeah.
say? All right, yo. Until next time, we'll see y'all on the next quest. Peace out, Cub Scouts.
All right.